Hey, thank you again for stopping by. I wanted to add a little extra this week, specifically about anger. I've heard anger referred to as the fire that consumes all, especially the person who's angry. And I think this is really true. It's easy to understand and compare anger to the color red and to the idea of hot, the feeling of hot and fire. And I think there's a lot of stories that go in with that when you actually compare and think about anger. One of the stories that I had heard a long time ago and was repeated again to me by a coworker was the idea of anger being like a red hot coal that you reach into the fire and you grab this red hot coal and it burns. And when it burns, you would think common sense would be like, "Whew, throw that thing down." But for some odd reason, we desperately want to cling to that anger as if that anger makes us, righteous and justified. And we want everyone to see, look, I'm burning and this is being done to me. And see me getting burned, see my hand getting burned. And we have an answer, just drop it. But we won't do that because we're so desperate to hang on to our anger. We've got it in our mind sometimes that this anger is what keeps us going, and it's actually what's holding us back. When you pick up, I think one of the old Buddha tales was the idea that when you pick up a hot coal to throw at somebody, it burns you just like it burns them. And the question being is, why would you do something so stupid? And yet we do it, and we do it over and over again. So again, you have these ideas of anger being rage that turns into fire and it consumes. And I see a lot of people that have a hard time controlling their emotions, especially anger. It's the easiest one to get into. In fact, it's amazing how much it's generally more accepted in our society that people get angry and rage, and you hear road rage, and you hear all these other things going on where people don't control their anger. And I think it's great if you can control your anger. I think it's even better if you can sort of stop the anger before it gets rolling. We have the ability to think about things, it's just that we often choose not to. As I've said in several other videos, we tend to work ourselves up very quick into what we think we want or need or that we should have, and all of these ideas, and we let our rage go angry. We feel slighted at what other people say. We take things that other people say as if they're actual real weapons that are hurting us, and that's often not the case. True, your reputation can be damaged. I always tell people though, like especially people in the public eye, it's the way the public goes. Love you one day, hate you the next. And so again, that constant worry about protecting your image, so then being angry when anytime somebody says something about you, you know, pull back, calm yourselves down. Uh, when people hurl their anger at you, it's through their ignorance. They believe that in some way that if they show you how angry they are and they fume at you like that you're going to be different for them, and they don't understand what's really going on in the background because you see them as angry. If you agree with them and get angry back, then you're both angry. Ooh, what did that accomplish? On the same idea, you might be scared of them now because they're angry and they look like they're out of control. And maybe that's one of the things that's happened in the past where they think, oh, when I get angry like that, people give me what I want. That's a horrible way to live your life. In the end, you're going to find that people just avoid you. That way, they don't have to worry about you getting angry at them. And then you find yourself lonely, upset, frustrated. And then you want to go, well, why? Why is there no one around? Why does nobody like me? Why will no one hang around me? Well, because you're like a raging anger fit going on all the time. If you want people to be around you, then figure out how to control your temper a little bit. And it is possible to control it. If you really want to get along better in life and reduce your own problems, because anger causes health problems, anger causes blood pressure issues, indigestion issues, it can shorten your life It literally is the fire that's consuming you from the inside out. And, if you really want to be dismayed at someone taking something from you, look at yourself because you're busy giving it away. You're literally cutting off your own lifespan just so that you can enjoy what you feel is the pleasure of being angry. What pleasure is there in it? I get it. You're talking to someone who used to have a lot of anger issues a long time ago. I'll be the first one to admit I had problems with anger and would get very upset at things. That's why I say there's a way out of it. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of sitting down, thinking through things, rationalizing through things, self calming, catching yourself. And then you start to make the slow, subtle changes to get out of that constant anger field. You can do it. Like I said, I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't think it was possible. And as all things, I've kind of delved in this one way or another myself. So understanding how to deal with it means understanding what it is that you're really trying to accomplish by being angry. And first, coming to grips with the idea that anger is not going to help you. Then, once you figured out there is a problem and you have the problem, you have to come up with the idea that you have faith that there's a way out. And then you start to seek that way out. In other words, you realize that there is a way out of this. You just have to puzzle your way through it. So you start doing the things, the techniques, the skills that you're taught to breathe, deep breathe. There's yogic breathing and deep breathing. There's lots of things to do to get the body moving to help deal with the anger issue. Then there's also the idea of paying attention to your body so that you know the moment you're starting to get angry and go, okay, I need to invoke those coping skills. I need to figure out how to either distract myself or find some way to self calm quickly so I can come back to center and deal with this. Okay. Because this out of control anger is not going to fix any problems, it's only going to make things worse. In the end, it is the fire that consumes all. Okay. So, y'all have a great weekend. Thank you again. Appreciate you stopping by, and I hope to talk to you again soon.